Hey, welcome to our roundtable discussion at the Bike Magazine 2013 Bible of Bike Test. And tonight we're checking out Norco's Range Killer B-1. The big news about this, there's always been a range in Norco's line, at least for many years, and it's been the all-mountain bike. This year they did something entirely different. They did something with 650B. The 650B is all the rage this year. It's 650B this, 27.5 that, which is basically the same thing. But the main thing is it's exactly the same thing. So we're still trying to figure out the whole word, but they've got the B in this. 650B could have been the predominant mountain bike tire size years ago, but it wound up being 26, and it's a long story, and it has something to do with the Finnish army and BMX wheels. All you need to know, it's a little bit bigger, roughly 1.5 inches bigger than 26, and so it's supposed to give you the kind of best of both worlds. It's not quite as big as a 29er, not quite as small as a 26. And the thing that makes it kind of interesting is on an all-mountain bike, where you try to put 29-inch wheels and you wind up this massively long wheelbase and makes the bike handle like crap in tight conditions. You could potentially get these slightly bigger than 26-inch wheels on an all-mountain bike and make it handle well in tight conditions. And that's what this bike could be about, and that's why people are excited about it. So, what did we think?
That's the theory of all. That's the theory of all. I think in practice, though,
I think that more than the wheel size, this frame, the geometry, everything about it, just it trumps, it overshadows the wheel size, and it makes it awesome.
It's worth saying that the wheel size could be overshadowed. I think that it didn't stand out for any of us.
The wheel size alone did not.
Exactly, yeah. The wheel size alone. For me, it didn't get in the way, and somewhere in the back of my helmeted head, I believed that it was making things smoother and faster. And whether or not that's true, it was there. It was there in my head, and I liked having it.
People cure cancer with sugar pills, so.
See, exactly.
So, but that's kind of crazy, because the 29er, you feel the difference.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that not obvious to you.
No, it's not an
obvious difference.
The negatives aren't obvious either.
But I will say that, you know, aside from the wheel size, the bike really stood out. I think it, you know, for descending especially, it just, the geometry I think is really dialed, and the suspension is really dialed, and the spec is really dialed for just railing down hills. It's super,
yeah, this is definitely the bike I wanted to get back on and on and on and on and on for as much as rides as we could. Like in the evenings when we were going out on the photo shoots, I wanted to take this bike. It was so capable, but it wasn't just the wheels. It was the whole package. Oh, yeah. The guys behind Norco have done a great job on designing the suspension kinematics, its geometry, and the spec. Maybe not the colors, but it's a wonderful bike.
And it's new. The kinematics are new this year.
Yes,
they changed the range. It's not just as a bigger wheel size. They changed the entire
design. Absolutely complete.
Yeah.
If I would say there's the dominating factor is that it seems to have a more rearward arching axle pad.
It does, and there lies a fly, as you so
I was so looking forward to bringing up.
Yeah.
For me, I love everything you guys are saying about the bike. It's rad. It's rad downhill. The fact that it can't climb any granny gear is a deal breaker for me, and I think it's a deal breaker for many all-mountain customers, because you're about the downhill. If you're about the uphill, you'll be buying an XC bike. The downhill is often big scale. That's why they call it all-mountain. You know, you may be climbing for a while. It's not the lightest bike. It's not the best climbing geometry. A lot of people are going to be riding this.
It's not the best climbing suspension. That's
exactly, yeah. A lot of people are going to be riding this in the granny gear, and I think they'd be disappointed.
It's, you know, if you're not a granny gear, you know, kind of person, you know, I think it's the perfect bike for somebody not like that. Of the ones that we tested. You mentioned that ISCG tabs. There's a lot of really cool things on it that truly make it an all-mountain bike. It's got the Fox 34. A lot of the bikes in this lineup had neutered rear ends, had forks that were too wimpy. This thing is stout. You know, it's got the bash guard, it's got the chain guide, it's got a reverb dropper post. It doesn't just have a dropper post, it has a damn good one. It has nice white bars, short stem. Type 2 derailleur.
Type 2 derailleur. This was a bike that was, it was beefy, it was burly, it was well equipped. This was one of the bikes that was really well suited to technical terrain, which is what all mountain is supposed to be. And too often you see these all mountain bikes. They're called that because they have 6 inches of travel, but they're just not up to the challenge. And I thought this bike was particularly well spec'd. Maybe it's debatable whether there might have been another bike in the lineup that was equal, but this bike was outstanding. The Hans Dampf tires, which are 90 bucks a pop retail. I mean, everything on this is, in terms of equipment, is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, there you have it. Don't buy it because it has 650B tires. If you're interested in this, get it because it's a good bike. The wheels do not define the bike, and I think this is something we keep coming back to. It's a good suspension design. That's the bottom line. It is that. Has a few weaknesses, but
and the 650B could be an added bonus.
It could be an added bonus for sure. There you have it.